Councillor Patty McCartan. Yes. Lord Mayor's nominated representative. This is an Arabic language. Catholic and the mayors of neighboring counties. Minister Doyle, Minister from the Business and Innovation, Agriculture, Ambassadors, Excellencies, colleagues of the Diplomatic Corps, Professor Li Mingwang and Professor Zhang Wei, and Mr. Tim there from the Ministry of Foreign and Trade. Distinguished guests, friends, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. Today is really an exciting day. It's the first day of the year of the dog. Now we have the dog head coming out, and finally the tail of the rooster victoriously disappeared, bringing us to a more prosperous and more promising, blessed year of the dog. It's a very important and very special moment of the Chinese people across the globe, as the Spring Festival is the best occasion for all people of Chinese community, and also now more and more for our reunion from with the peoples all over the world. And we feel a strong sense of one globe, one family, and we are going together to build a community of human beings for the shared future. On behalf of the Chinese Embassy and the Chinese community in Ireland, I'd like to take this opportunity to really welcome and thank everybody for joining us in celebrating the Chinese New Year, and to wish you and your respective families a very happy and prosperous Year of the Dog. And of course, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank all those who make tonight's event possible, from my colleagues of the Chinese Embassy and those from our friends from the H.E.Dr.Yue College and from the Irish government and all the communities. You contribute your bit and efforts to today's performances. The Spring Festival is the most ceremonious traditional festival in China, symbolizing and spreading in essence and in symbolic way, spreading best wishes for peace, harmony, happiness, and prosperity. The Spring Festival originated in China over 4,000 years ago. You are seeing an ancient civilization in the living. It has become a very popular festival in many countries, including Ireland, of course. And in many ways, actually, Ireland is taking the lead in celebrating this in many ways. Many Irish friends in recent years have been exposed to the colorful tradition of the charming customary festivities of the Chinese New Year. We are happy that our joy, rituals, and practices are so lovely shared by various ethnic groups and peoples in Ireland. On this particular occasion, China's Henan performing art troupe has come to Dublin to bring us a really wonderful show of Chinese Shaolin Kung Fu Shaolin boxing skills, literally, and art. Folk dancing and traditional folk music with a strong flavor of Central China and also with a strong professionalism. It is a professional singing and dance group. It is not amateurs. They are real athletes and professionals. In the past 20 days, the performing troupe have successfully toured in Italy, Luxembourg, and Portugal. I think it is a climax to be here because this is a country of art. Here. Yeah, that's the leader. Entertaining the local and the audience with the charms of the Chinese culture. We are lucky to have them. We are blessed to have them here with the support of the Chinese Ministry of Culture. And we have a representative here, Madame Wang Oujia, and she is really behind all this. And single-handedly bring that troupe here with us, with your support. As part of the global scheme of Happy Spring Festival and a key contribution to 2018 Dublin Chinese Year Festival, I'm sure you will all like it and enjoy it. Happy Spring Festival scheme is an international cultural exchange program initiated by the Chinese Ministry of Culture to promote the Chinese culture in all over the world. Its aim is to enhance mutual understanding and spread joy and happiness with all the communities in the world. I believe it is really in a similar spirit that the Dublin City Council initiated the Dublin Chinese New Year Festival 11 years ago. And we are happy to see it is expanding with each year passing. And end of last week, I with Mr. Nair Gibbons and the Lord Mayor of the city, we together set the lights of China red in 18 beautiful buildings here in Dublin. I commend and applaud the Dublin City Council and the festival organizers under the guidance of the City Council for their great efforts to host such a splendid festival here in Dublin. You are taking the lead in this country, and we are very happy to join our efforts with you. I sincerely hope that the 2018 Dublin Chinese New Year Festival will prove to be another big success. The dog, whose barking in Chinese mimic sounds is like Wang, and Wang is also in Chinese character, means exactly prosperity. I'm sure this prosperity with the Year of the Dog will bring all us in a very blessed year and help us to take the Chinese island relations up to a new height. To conclude, I wish you all a wonderful and memorable evening and enjoy the show and a happy Chinese New Year. Gerk Marker. Thank you very much.
Gurmeen August is on of Gurmeen Aristotle Green Kun Lartig Okaji Marshaw. We're very privileged to have a Minister of State here, and I'd like to introduce and say a few words. Minister of State Andrew Doyle.
Good evening, everybody. Your Excellency, Ambassador, Deputy Lord Mayor McCartan, also other public representatives here, including H.E.Dr.Yue of Wicklow County Council next door, where I'm from myself, and I think it's particularly important to acknowledge his presence insofar as that Bray in County Wicklow has one of the largest communities of Chinese communities in the country. I was just thinking when His Excellency was speaking about turning buildings red, my colleague, Minister for Foreign Affairs, Simon Coveney, will be in China for the St. Patrick's Day Festival when he plans to turn a few buildings green. So I suppose what's good for one is good for the other. And likewise, I'm really looking forward to the cultural event and the display from the professional dancing and boxing troupe. When I was in China a couple of years ago, when we were having meetings with interpreters, whenever we mentioned the word river dance, everybody's head went, they didn't need interpretation. So if we can capture the imagination of the Chinese population with our river dance, our cultural traditional dance troupe and musical, I think it's only right that we should embrace what China has to offer also. And I think I attended the awards last week of the Chinese, and I see a lot of faces from both the Chinese and Irish communities. I think we're beginning to become a sort of a family feel to it, as Mr. Tim Maw from the department said, who's hassling or who's trekking who at the moment. But it's only then when you go to an award ceremony of the business community, you realise the level of business that's going on. And if I was to just recall one salient point that I got from the other night, is we are one of the few countries in the world that has a surplus balance of trade between our two nations. So for a small country, we can actually prove that we can export to big countries, and that's the purpose in many ways of the efforts of the government, both Patrick's Day and other trade missions. So I'd just like to thank you again on behalf of the government, and wish the festival and the Chinese community in Ireland continued enjoyment with the festival and beyond, and further building strong friendship and business relationships between our two communities. Thank you very much.